Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be learning about polynomials. This is going to be a third lesson for this chapter. So to know more about polynomials, let's start by knowing what is a monomial. Now a monomial in definition, it's a real number, a variable, or a product of both. So a monomial, mono means one. Okay, so you can remember it like that. The meaning of mono is one. So a monomial is a number, a variable, or a combination of both. So you will find monomials in this way. The more important thing is monomials exponents will be always positive. You will never find a negative exponent in monomials. All right. So for this, you can see now this is a real number, so it's a monomial. This a product of a variable and a number, so that's a monomial too. This is a monomial too because it's a number. Now this is also a product of a number, a variable with an exponent, so this is also a monomial, and also these are monomials. So all what you saw were all examples of monomials. Mono means one. You have to keep in mind, mono means one. Now there is something called degree of monomial. Now what is this degree of monomial? The degree states what is the value of the exponent which is for the monomial. So for example, here we don't have an exponent, though we have learned that there is an exponent of 1, but this is a number alone. So when a number is alone, we say the degree of monomial for that number or term is 0. So always remember, when a number is alone, that means the degree for that number is 0. Then here it is with a variable. Now, if a term is with a variable, we say the degree of this monomial is 1. Okay. Now, similarly, we have the degree for this monomial is 2, means the value of the exponent is 2 here. So for this, it was 1. As you know, there is always an invisible 1, but a number alone, it's 0. So here we have exponent for x as well as y. So we just add the values of these exponents. So here we have 3 plus 2. So the value of this monomial, the degree of the value is 5. So this is considered a monomial because it's a mixture. It's a product of a variable and product of 2 variables and numbers. In fact, there's going to be 6 multiply x multiply y. So it's going to be a product of 2 variables and a number. So to find the degree, we just add them. That's all. Okay, now let's move on to some examples and degrees of monomials. As you can see, these are all examples of monomials because either it's a number alone, or it's a product of both. So here, the degree of this monomial is 2. As I said, if a number is alone, the degree for that is going to be 0. And for this, it's 6. The degree for this is 1. And the degree for this is 5. Now, do not get confused for the lesson which we learned through yesterday's video, where we said if the basis of the exponents are same, then we add them. We are not learning about multiplication or addition of exponents. We are only learning about the degrees of monomials and polynomials. Okay, so the degree value for this is going to be 4 plus 1, which is 5. Now these are some non-examples of monomials. Now this is not a monomial because the exponent is negative. As I told, always the exponent will be positive. Okay, now also here the exponent is not a number. Always the exponent should be a positive number. So these are not examples of, these are some examples of numbers which are not monomials. Okay, now moving on, let's learn what is a polynomial. Monomial means 1. Now polynomial, poly means many. So a polynomial is an expression made up of 1 or more monomials. So more than one or more monomials, they make up polynomials. For example, like this, see, it can be by using plus sign or it can be by using minus sign. So each of these we call as terms. So this is a monomial, this is a monomial. Together it is being added, we call this a polynomial. So all these are examples of more polynomials. Look at this. This is a term. This is a monomial. This is also a monomial, right? This is also a monomial. This is also a monomial, but they have been brought together by addition or subtraction. So that's why we call this as a polynomial. Now there's a difference between when you find the degree for a polynomial or to when you find the degree of a monomial. How is it different? How is that going to be different? You will see. When you are calculating the degree of polynomials, we have to find the degree of each monomial alone. So first, we find the monomial of this term. What is the monomial of 5y square? Sorry, what's the degree of 5y square? It's the degree is 2. The degree of 8y is 1. And the degree of a number alone is 0. So we take the highest degree. We don't say 2 plus 1 is 3. We don't say that. When you're finding the degree of polynomials, you take the highest degree and say that is the degree of the polynomial. So the degree of the polynomial is the greatest degree at 2. So you should not confuse yourself when you're finding the degree of monomials and polynomials. When you're finding the degree of polynomials, you have to find each of the degrees separately, okay, each of the term separately, and then choose the degree which is the highest. This is how you find the degree of polynomials. The greatest degree becomes the degree of the whole polynomial. It's very easy, just that you need to take some time and understand. Okay, now this is how to write polynomials in standard form. Now you know how to find degree of monomials, you know how to find degree of polynomials. Let's see how do we find the how do we write the polynomials in standard form. Okay, so again, to write polynomials in standard form also, we need to find each of the monomials degree. So this is term 1. The term 1, the degree is 0. Term 2 is 4x squared, negative 4x squared, so the degree is 2. X to the power of 5, the degree is 5. And 9x cubed, the degree is 3. Okay, now we have the 0 degree, we have degree 0, we have degree 2, we have also degree 5, we have also degree 3. So what is going to be the degree for this polynomial? The degree for this polynomial, if the question asks, it's going to be degree 5. 5 is going to be the degree for this polynomial. But here we are learning to write polynomials in standard form. How do you write the degree polynomial in standard form? Just arrange the terms according to the degrees from greatest to least. From greatest to least, you find the degree of each term and then arrange it from greatest to least. So which is having the greatest degree of all? This term, x5, x to the power of 5. So we write it first. Which is the next least one? Degree 3. Which is the term for it? Plus 9x cubed. And which is the next one? It's going to be degree 2, which is minus 4x squared. And the least one is the one with degree 0, which is going to be plus 16. So this is how you write a polynomial in standard form. So what are the steps to write a polynomial in standard form? First, find the degrees, then arrange the terms from the greatest degree to the least degree. It's very easy because now you know how to find degrees. So whether you find the degree or you write the polynomials, it's all depending on how you are finding the degree. Okay, so this was all the video for today. It's a very short video, but to keep this in mind, you have to keep memorizing the how to write this in standard form, and how do you find the degrees is what's important, and how do you differentiate between polynomials and monomials. So till we meet again in the next video, keep practicing and keep remembering how to find the degrees of polynomials and monomials.